Hello, my name is Santiago Fernandez, and today I'm going to be talking about the best football franchise ever. So, and that franchise is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're the first team in the NFL to reach 6 Super Bowls. Just want to say that. Alright. So I'm going to go over each Super Bowl and how they got to the playoff, the AFC Championship, and the Super Bowl. So for Super Bowl 9, which was in 1974, their coach was Coach Chuck Noll, and they beat the Bills 32-14 in the divisional playoffs. Next was the Raiders 24-13 in the AFC Championship. In that game, they had to come back from 10 points and scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, which is pretty good. In Super Bowl 9, they beat the Vikings 16-6. It was a low-scoring game because at the time there were two really good defenses, so it was mostly a defensive game. The Steelers' nickname for their defense was the Steel Curtain, so it kind of goes with Steelers, Steel Curtain. Yeah. And in that Super Bowl, they only had 1,000 people there. So if you compare it to today's Super Bowl, that's really drastic. Okay, the next Super Bowl is Super Bowl 10, which is in 1975. The coach was also Chuck Noll. And then they beat the Colts 28-10, and then in the AFC Championship, they beat the Raiders 16-10. In that game, one of the best plays ever was occurred. So, for the video. This is old, by the way.
Last chance for the Steelers. Bradshaw trying to get away. And his pass is broken up by Tatum.
He caught it off his helmet. And he scored. And if he wouldn't have caught that ball, they would have lost. So, the replay's a little slower, had a better angle, so you can see it. So there's only 5 seconds left.
Ricochet out there off of Jack Tatum and into the man of the year, Franco Harris's hand.
That's the running back. I think it shows it one more time. Okay, there you go. This shows it going.
Here's a miracle of all miracles. Watch this one now. Bradshaw's lucky to even get rid of the ball. He shoots it out. Jack Tatum deflects it right into the hands of Harris.
So close.
And he sets off, and the big 230-pound rookie slipped away from Warren and scored.
Okay. So next is Super Bowl 13 in 1978. The coach was also Chuck Noll. And then they beat the Broncos 33-10 in the divisional game. AFC Championship was against the Oilers, which they're not an NFL team anymore, but I think they changed their name or something like that. I think they're the Texans now. In that game, the Steelers dominated on defense and offense, so it was 34-5, which is a good score for them. And then Super Bowl 13 was against the Cowboys, 35-31. This was a pretty good game, as you can see by the score. This is when their franchise quarterback, Terry Bradshaw, had an outstanding game. And here's I won't play the whole video because it's too long, but here's a little. It's Terry Bradshaw. This would be his 3rd Super Bowl. He had a great arm. It was super good. You can see by the spiral that ball was coming fast.
Now Bradshaw pumping, firing downfield. There goes Stallworth. He pulls it in, and the Steelers fire right back on the arm of Terry Bradshaw.
Okay, Next was Super Bowl 14. Oh, by the way, the last two, so Super Bowl 9 and 10, they were back to back, and then 13 and 14 were back to back. So those are two back to back Super Bowl wins. So for Super Bowl 14, they beat the Dolphins in the playoffs, and then beat the Oilers again in the AFC Championship. And then for that Super Bowl, it was against the Rams. The score was 13-19. And then at that point, they were the first team to reach 4 Super Bowls in the league. And then the MVP in that game was Terry Bradshaw. And then next was a little more modern now. It was in 2006. It was Super Bowl 40. Their coach was, not the coach, the divisional playoff was 31-17 against the Colts. And then against the Broncos, they beat in the AFC Championship 34-17. And then the Super Bowl was against the Seahawks, which was 21-10. In this Super Bowl, there was a trick play they ran, and it pretty much won them the game. So what happens is the quarterback has the ball, he tosses it back to the running back, and then the running back to a wide receiver, and the wide receiver throws a touchdown pass. As he said, that receiver used to be a quarterback in college, so he could throw the ball. It was fourth quarter, they were up by 10. That pretty much was like the point where they won it. Okay, last was the Super Bowl 43 in 2009. This coach was not Coach Noel now. It was Mike Tomlin. He's a lot younger than the Coach Noel. And in this game, they beat the Chargers 35-24 in the AFC Championship. They beat the rivals 23-14, which were the Ravens. And then in the Super Bowl, they beat the Cardinals 27-23. In this game, there were two big moments that defined their win. And one was it was
about 30 more seconds.
There was this interception. He went for 100 yards. So he took this all the way. It was an incredible play because he could have been tackled like a million times. Yeah, so he barely made it. In conclusion, the Steelers are probably one of the most successful franchises in the league, and have produced many legendary players and moments like these. Thank you.
Wow. So good.